Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. It is the 16th of December, and let's take a look at the markets. As always, the beginning of the week. I want to take a look, go first through our technical pages and see what's going on there, what the markets are showing us. We've been, having decent performance. A little bit of divergence happening in here between certain areas of the market, and then I also want to take a look at the Dash and Tesla. Dash is a new purchase, and then Tesla, it's a stock that's been acting pretty strong, and we got that I think a few weeks back. So let's go ahead through this technical page, and basically I always kind of like to begin looking at the advanced decline line and see kind of what's going on with the market, and this is still somewhat concerning to see that a lot of stocks are dropping, at least as it's presented here, while the indices are still looking fairly strong and being pushed by some of these large caps. So I do have about 95% exposure on the long side, but this here it's a bit of an issue, and I want to see if we can start to resolve that, and maybe the large caps, the mega caps, those Mag 7 maybe take a little break, and then give a chance for these other stocks to catch up. So we're looking at that. We're looking at you can see basically here where you have these four areas of the market where we kind of have the S&P and the Nasdaq kind of grinding higher, with the S&P a bit flat, but then you have the Dow Jones and the NYSE heading lower. So value, it's kind of being thrown off in favor of favor of growth as we're approaching the end of the year here. Very interesting. I don't think the S&P is done. I mean, it looks like it's consolidating sideways. So let's take a look at the bigger charts. So here is NYSE with the PPO that's coming at 0, an RSI that's already at 36. It's been doing quite a heavy correction, and the moment we drop below these levels here, it's going to suggest that probably we'll still continue to correct. So I don't know what's going on here, but definitely, I mean, we're still in an uptrend, don't get me wrong. You have rising 150-day, you're breaking below the 50, which is kind of the first kind of major defense of an uptrend. And we spent a couple of days below here. So let's see if for the next couple of days we're able to return from here. That would be a good sign. And we want to see that on good volume. We've got good volume today from the S&P, but only a 38% basis points increase. This support here held along with the 20-day, and there's nothing wrong here. It's not doing anything wrong. We'll take a look at the wave counts here shortly, and see what they're telling us, because I think that's important to see. Nasdaq, good day on really high volume, moving about 1.45%, right? So that's a heavy lift from the Nasdaq 100, getting a bit extended again above the 20-day moving average. So we got to watch a little bit here. Maybe there'll be a pause in here, and then again maybe that'll give a chance for some value to catch up, and for some other smaller stuff to to move over. We're going to be approaching the top of this channel, which I painted a few days ago, last week. Huge increase in volume here as we're breaking much higher on the mags. Again, this is a position that I kind of warned about as soon as we broke right here 52, that it's time to kind of get involved here, because he was looking that we're finishing up that correction. So that's just a little signal from the market. IWM, someone asked me, I think Felice asked me in the chat, which level I'm watching, and if this IWM, it's still something that's worth holding. 225 was the level that I wanted to see. If we're going to get all the way down there, I think it's going to be a problem. But as long as you stay in this right here at 227.5, it's the big line of defense. You have a 61.8 retracement right here. Seems that we're trying to hold good volume on the buy today, but RSI seems to be holding, so I'm having a bit of hope from the small caps that they can turn back, but they haven't been acting that great, right? This index is very it's just a bad, I don't know, it just got bad moves. Composite here, pushing higher at 1.2. So you can see Nasdaq 100 was 1.4, Nasdaq Composite 1.2, still on good volume. Right, so there's still a lot of interest here. Dow Jones again coming into the 50-day, on the 50 RSI near the 50-day moving average. This area again, it's important. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe one more day of weakness to get those 9 days, and then probably we'll stage a bit of a bounce. So we'll watch that maybe tomorrow, and then Wednesday we can probably start to reverse a bit on there. Bitcoin getting up towards 107.5. I warned on this ever since we broke this level. I mean, we are much, much higher. And still acts really well. There's nothing here, although the wave counts, could suggest that we could be in some kind of a final stage, but again, I don't want to, I don't want to say, that it's not possible for it to continue to rip, because it very well could be. So, nothing to do here but kind of follow along and know exactly, which levels, if they get taken out, there's a problem. So, for example, if you lose 95, there's something fishy going on, and then you might want to pare back. Yields in the dollar, there's nothing there. And gold is an old chart. So let me take a look at the wave counts here, and then we'll go. So Nasdaq Composite, I talk about this larger third wave, right? We're moving up there. Still looks good and uptrending, so nothing to do but look at this and leave it alone. Dow Jones Industrial, every time I kind of have an issue with the smaller time frame, I kind of look at the bigger time frames and try to see what's there. So this is still okay in my view. I'm looking for this larger third wave, which is still in progress, watching some of these key zones. If they get taken out, see what happens then, if we get support or not. Russell, here's that 61.8 of this latest leg higher. What if this is a flat? It looks ugly because that's a bit of an impulse, but it's very possible that you could have a 1-2 here and you can start to rip. I say that maybe because I'm long, but again, it's not doing anything wrong other than that it's not moving fast enough to the upside. And then S&P, just clean. You had that big correction right there in August, and then since then you've recovered, and I still think these targets are achievable. Looks like we're not going to get them by the end of this year, but you never know. Probably in January. So this index still looks fine. And then you have IBIT, which we talked about this. Some kind of a fourth wave may be happening in here. I don't know if we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and maybe it's a fifth wave at this degree of trend, and then even if that's the case, I still think you might be getting a 4 and a 5. So I don't think we're getting anything serious just yet. It still looks good. It's got good momentum, so I like it. And then if after that happens, then you got to deal with this fourth wave, right? So I think there's room here to continue to move, even though you might be maybe consolidating a little bit more in January or February. But other than that, it's fine. Okay, let's take a look at those couple of charts. So I talked about Dash. So this is a position that I was long Dash already, and I got out a bit too soon. I think I was long right here on this breakouts, and now it's consolidating again. Well, you could say it's a fourth wave. Well, it's a fourth wave. We'll see, but what if it isn't? And it's got a very nice move today on 2.5. Trying to break above that channel. So you can see the closing up at the highs. A little bit of volume, bigger than yesterday, but not higher than average, but still decent. Relative strength line moving fine, and it's got potential, I think. So if you look at the weeklies on it, right, it's not doing anything wrong. It's probably going to want to go all the way up there to those highs near to 20. Um, I hear a lot of people using the service. It's really common, so I don't know what they have in plans for for the future. But anyway, it's a stock that I got involved in. Let's see how it acts. And then the other one that we had a bit of success with is Tesla, because we got in right here, and it's already almost $100 higher, um, on good volume. Now, mind you, let me go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're probably a bit extended here. Though I see a small one too. So is this 3, 4, and maybe a 5, or another 4 and another 5? 1, 2, 1, 2. See, I still think there is more room to go. Now it could be do some kind of a fourth wave and then a fifth wave, but how can one? I mean, you can take partial profits because in this moves on high volume. Maybe this exhaustive moves to the upside, but it doesn't mean that the move is done, right? It could mean they're just consolidating. So PPO that's widening, an RSI that's at 80. Yeah, it's a hot stock, and it it did what it was supposed to do after the break. So I'll continue to hold on to it. Maybe I'll trim up. Um, let's see. I don't want to mess with it too much, because if I go on the weekly, this guy looks good. If I go back like a 15 years, I mean, it just started to go. Right? So, I don't know, I kind of like that. Let's go down to 10. So you see, we're in the middle of a third wave. We're in the middle of a big third wave, and at any time that can extend, like maybe like that, right? So there could be more room. I mean, take a look at other stocks that did those moves. So, and I think a lot of people are probably trying to short Tesla and do silly stuff, but if it's one stock that can surprise, it is this one. So I'll continue. Probably I'll raise my stops here, and maybe follow this 20-day and then see what happens. But all right, I'll leave it at that. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.